I apologize in advance if I do.
Wait. You're live.
Oh.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, everyone out there.
Hey.
This is your ever-loving clobbering time. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. It's the grown-ass kids show.
Woohoo! Yay!
We're back. It's been a
Yay.
while, but it's... Hey, Jen. Whoever else is watching. I'm not sure who else is.
Jen and Bo are watching.
Hey, Bo. Hey, Bo.
Hey.
Hey, Bo.
We're just kind of freestyling it tonight. Kind of picking topics and then going from there. Again, I'm Derek.
I'm Doug.
I'm Travis.
I'm Lucas.
And behind the camera,
It's me. Oh, Rashad.
yeah, me, Rashad. So, to kick us off tonight, what we thought we would do is we would just put some topics in the old hopper here. And I'm going to pull one out.
And these are topics from all of 2023 at some point, right?
Yeah, all of 2023 could be game, show, movie, fill in the blank.
Reminded me of one thing I do want to talk about.
See, we've already got one. See there? All right, here's the first one. And whoever wrote it down, maybe we can.
I can already tell you it's Doug's.
Ooh.
God, you're starting off with that one?
All right.
Can we put one back and start with a different one?
The first topic of the evening: salt burn. Bam. All right, Doug.
I have nothing on this.
Did you actually watch
No, I'm not watching it.
I didn't watch it
I
either.
read the synopsis and that was enough.
I watched the trailer.
Oh, such a hater.
Did you watch it?
No, I haven't watched it, but I know
So-
what it's about.
The only person on this couch that has actually seen it, this guy. Is that right?
I think
that's-
so.
that's right.
Yes.
Is that all
That is,
here?
that is right.
Okay. But
I did read the synopsis though.
all four of us have, like, read synopses, watched the trailer, all the above.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
You're not going to ruin it for anybody, I don't think.
So I chose Saltburn. Saltburn was one of my choices because I wanted to start some shit. I figured I didn't think it was gonna be the opening salvo, but yeah, this is a great way to get people to know each other really quick. Talk about Saltburn, and I think that I watched the movie wondering when it was gonna start halfway through,
Ooh.
and then it started, and then I wish we could go back to when it wasn't starting, and then I found myself screaming at the TV and like watching it from like 20 feet away, and then there were scenes where you would get up like really close to the TV, kind of going, is that really fucking happening? That's happening. That's really, oh my god. And every single time you think, no, they're not going to do that for live action or anything like that, because usually they just say the really weird shit for animation. No,
They
they
took
went
really
all the
weird
way.
shit.
They went all the way with it, and I'm not spoiling anything because you wouldn't believe me anyway. You know, I mean,
Well, so how was the acting good though? I mean,
the acting was out of control. There was so Rosamund Pike. Okay,
Mhm.
I know that. And I can't think of the dude's name right now to save my life.
Is she the sister?
Jacob Elordi?
No.
I mean,
The other one?
Weird
Barry
dude from the
Keoghan?
Eternals?
Keegan.
Yeah.
Yeah, the our boy from Eternals, Keegan.
Yep.
Okay, so Keegan did stuff in that movie that I think he should at least get a nomination for because he sold it. I think that also Rosamund Pike, who has, like, I feel every single part that she has chosen is to weird me out specifically.
I get that, because wasn't she the one that was in I Really Love You? No, that's not it.
Gone Girl, I think is what.
No. I think it was like I Really Care. It's where she played this.
Yes.
She was taking care of the elderly person,
Yes.
but she wasn't really taking care of the
She was,
elderly person.
she was killing him.
Yeah.
she was taking care of them.
Oh, she was taking care of
She
him.
was doing the
She was taking care
mafia
of them.
style,
Yeah.
taking care.
So, yeah, she plays those parts. There was one movie she played where she helped hijack a plane, and that really, like, that was actually the most realistic outside of Munich, probably the most realistic interpretation a terrorist hijacking I've seen, and so she really made the character that she played relatable, even though she was the enemy, you know.
Yeah.
And so Rosamund Pike always says it's the only softball part she's ever done in her life, to my knowledge, is she was in Pride and Prejudice. She played one of the sisters, and
She's the lead in Wheel of Time.
oh, okay,
Have you watched that?
I have not. I probably need to.
Who is she
Anyone
in
else?
this time?
No.
Rosamund Pike.
Who
I
is
think
she
it's
playing?
her. Huh?
Who is she playing?
The lead in Wheel of Time, I think.
Are you sure you're not confusing
I'm
with
not-
somebody else?
I'm not exactly sure. I may be
No,
confusing.
yeah, she's on Wheel of Time.
Okay, that's her. That's what I thought.
So Rosamund Pike plays a scene
Yeah.
where she's comatose.
Morian.
Oh, she played.
I haven't watched any Wheel of Time.
Okay.
I haven't read the books either.
Interesting.
I like the show.
So she plays a part where she's comatose for just one scene, and recently she gave an interview where the interviewer basically just was like a softball question. Basically just asked, hey, were you actually in that? Was that computer generated? Assuming that the person asking the question thought that that shot
Was a fake.
was a fake, or at least a body. She goes, no, I totally need to give Keegan something to play off of, and she's attached to all this medical equipment, and
Oh yeah, you shared a thing about that
Yeah.
with the group. I
Yeah.
remember.
And Keegan goes to work on all of that equipment, okay, and like there's parts of it that actually go in, in like down, in
Into her throat and stuff?
Yeah, and the stuff he does with that, and her ability to not react, or react as somebody who was comatose, I should say, was completely. And this is not like the only thing that was weird about the movie. I'm giving you the least weird thing about the movie.
So I want to ask this question. What was the underlying, was there a message?
Yeah, rich people suck.
Okay. So the message was rich people are weird and suck.
Look, can I ask? So this is a movie that's on Netflix, right? Or what did you see?
It's on something. You can watch it on, it's either that or Amazon.
We watched it on. It was on that. No, it was on HBO.
Oh, it was on HBO Max.
No, was it on?
I thought it was on. I thought it was on Netflix.
No.
Anyway, did you pay for the movie? Would you have gone to a theater and paid for this movie?
I actually wanted to, and
Okay.
we just never got the chance.
Was it released in theaters?
I think.
Yeah, it
so.
was.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I have
I'm
never
pretty
heard anything about this movie until you said something.
I wanted
I
to see
believe
it.
I talked about it on the last show because
I might not have been. I don't think I was at the last.
I want
show.
to say you
Or the
did
show
too.
before.
I wanna-
I
say
think
you
I
did too.
spilled the beans on everything too because if I'm not mistaken, I was like, "Do y'all want to know?" And everybody was like, "Yeah, sure."
But it was like yeah.
Maybe you did.
The main, the main
erased
theme
that from
is.
my memory because it was so bad.
I mean, like the main theme is rich people suck, but also it's like.
Wait, average people suck? They said rich people suck.
No, rich people suck. But like, the message really is rich people suck. They're vampires. They're this, that, and the other. However,
It's on Amazon Prime.
normal folks. Yeah, there we go. That's what we saw it on Amazon Prime. Yeah, I was wrong. But like normal folks are just as insidious, but we do it better. So obviously, by me saying that, I identified with Keegan by the end of the movie.
Interesting.
Yeah,
so you did
yeah.
identify with him.
Yeah, eventually, but.
So what does that say about you?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably nothing good.
I'm kidding.
We're glad you're not a rich person.
So you would tell us
Could you
and
be
everyone
that?
watching that you should see this thumbs up or you should not see this
I
thumbs
think-
down.
And don't be rich.
I think
If you're rich, fuck off.
I think if you see this movie, you need to get in touch with the parts of you that get grossed out, and that's
Okay.
because you learn a lot about yourself watching this movie.
Would you consider
Yeah.
it like gory?
I will say, from my point of view, reading the synopsis, this is the movie. If you enjoy movies written by teenagers,
Was it written by a
sitting around-
teenager?
It sound like the way it is written. It sounds like it's written by a teenager coming up with the cringiest shit imaginable and you're okay with it. Like you think that is interesting.
You see, the way you're describing this, because I didn't read the synopsis, I only watched one trailer, which is bad enough. But
So you don't know what happens.
I know.
Oh boy.
But the whole
Oh,
cringiness
yeah.
of it makes me think of like whenever I watched like Saw for the first time, and I was like, they're not gonna do that, and they put them in all these contraptions and like twist them in different ways and kill people in these creative
Are
ways.
you going to watch it?
No,
Then after the show, I'll tell you what happens.
you don't have to. I'm good. I don't need to.
So
No, you need to know.
I mean,
Uh,
like the whole movie is worth watching for that last 5 minutes of music.
Good music. Huh?
Yes. The last 5 minutes of music, it's awesome. Okay, it like brings it home. It's like the Aristocrats, which writ large. You need to know. You need the release of the scene. Basically, this is not a true story. This is completely made up. However, if you're really paying attention, there are people like that out there.
So what I'm hearing is Downton Abbey. This is not.
No.
Okay.
the way you described it as like the Aristocrats just gave me everything I think I need to know about this
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
Eat the rich.
Yeah.
They're the Aristocrats.
The
so-
Aristocrats is clever in its own way, though.
Aristocats.
The
No.
Aristocrats.
The
Oh,
joke. The
The Joe
Aristocrats
of the
joke.
Aristocrats is clever in its own way.
Not the
This-
version George Carlin
this
said.
has like none of the subtlety and cleverness.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Are we ready to move on to the next topic?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Fantastic. Drum roll, please. Ah, yes. I was waiting for this. I don't know how this happened, but
They're all Dougs.
Kang or Doom? I think we have to at least acknowledge the fact that Kang, may he rest in peace, is no more. Well, the actor.
Yeah. Jonathan Majors is done.
Yeah,
Jonathan Majors has been terminated from the Kang role.
So
I mean,
do we
officially
believe-
dropped him?
Yeah, they've
Oh, yeah.
officially dropped him.
Okay,
He's
Alright.
done.
I didn't remember.
As soon as the verdict came out, they were like,
Oh,
"You're
that's
done."
right.
Done.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
remember that. Yeah.
I will say, I think they've already done too much planning for Kang for them to jump shit now.
Do you?
I do.
The last thing I heard is that Kang is not even going to come into the picture again until at the very end of whatever this next phase is.
Well-
Mm.
So one thing I do like about Marvel is that they have been very good about not leaving loose ends. And I feel like if they were to jump ship,
Can I interject?
Yes.
go ahead.
Um,
Because you're going to point out the one loose end I didn't know about. I know it.
No, but I'm gonna make a point about something that recently happened. Has everybody watched the last season of Loki?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually going to put that in there, but I knew we already talked about it at one point.
So it seemed like at the end there they were kind of making it so that they could kind of work their way around
Yeah.
Kang if they needed to,
Yep.
because it kind of spoiler alert. Let me hit my button. They kind of worked their way around. As powerful as he is now, so
But I mean, they still have that whole Council of the Kang thing that they showed.
Do they? Or did all of that get canceled with the Loki?
that is the
Oh,
question.
come on. You,
I mean, they could write themselves around.
Look,
that.
folks,
I mean,
this is why time travel sucks.
Yep.
If you would simply come around to my way of thinking, you would live a much happier life.
No.
Yep.
I'm fine with time travel. I thought Loki season 2 was a lot better than Loki season 1.
I agree with that.
oh, yeah, I love season
like,
And
I
season
like
1
the
was good too.
implications. Season 1 was okay. It was not my favorite of
I
the
love
first,
season 1.
you know.
I loved them
but,
both.
um,
It was
Yeah.
okay.
Same
It was
here.
okay.
But no, I think and so shout out to Brooks because we kind of both had the same idea. I mean, you can kind of write Kang out at this point and
Yeah.
just introduce Doom. You know,
Yeah, you could.
I think it's easy
I think
enough.
they have to do some more figuring out how to write
Honestly-
them. I don't think the whole Loki ending is enough to say we're not doing Kang
Yeah.
anymore.
Here's the thing, though, is my
That's my opinion.
so
here's
there
my
was-
worry.
Oh,
Okay, here's. Oh, go ahead.
He
We're
never
sorry,
talks.
go
Let him
first.
talk.
There was a scene, if you notice there at the end of Loki,
You're talking about
where
Ant-Man, aren't you?
huh?
You're talking about that scene with Ant-Man where they reference Ant-Man.
No, there's a scene where remember how they left the book for Victor Timely on the seal, on the windowsill, and that's how he figured out everything and became a super smart individual.
Yeah.
Right.
They kind of alluded to the fact that that never happened.
Right.
Like the book was never there. So
Yeah.
it's almost like they were erasing all of these variant Kangs in a way. So I'm just throwing that out there.
I know. I'm not
Yeah,
saying
plus Loki had all of it. Loki became that.
Yeah.
That's the way I interpret
Loki,
it.
Yeah,
Loki,
but
Loki
they-
became the stopgap.
He
character
became
for
he
that.
who remained.
Well,
at the
here-
end of it.
Well,
here's
but
the
I-
thing.
Yeah, go ahead. I know you've been
Okay.
trying to say something. Go for it.
So here's my thing about it is, and it's both a blessing and a curse, because right now, I don't think that
Like that chili we just
I don't think that the MCU is as tightly planned as it was. Like
Originally.
I won't say originally, because when they started Iron Man, I know they kind of had vague ideas, but I mean, a couple of movies in, they came up with this. You know, they were like, okay, we've got this 10-year, 3-phase plan, and we
Right.
all laughed, right? And
Right,
then
right,
we
right.
ended up with Avengers Endgame, and we all saw that that was just amazing, right?
Right.
At the moment, I think that Marvel is so spread thin that they don't really have that tight a plan right now. And I think that's both a blessing and a curse, because it's a blessing because now they can pivot pretty easily because they just don't have anything planned. They have no idea where they're going with anything. They're just kind of throwing shit at the wall.
They had a title of a movie. That's all they had.
Exactly.
Yep.
But at the same time, that means things are pushed even farther off, and we're still never going to see X-Men.
It always comes back to X-Men.
We saw some X-Men.
How did he
we
do
saw
that?
some X-Men.
How did
That's
he do that?
amazing. It's like
See okay, so I hear what you're saying. I disagree, and here's why. I actually believe they've pushed it up now, not further back, because I feel like now they feel the pressure to pivot away from Avengers in a way to something else, to something new, and they know that they've got X-Men that everyone is waiting on,
And the good thing about them not having to,
and Fantastic Four.
kind of stay on this narrow path of this is what we're going to do is they don't have all their eggs in one basket. They can always say, hey, this isn't working. We can do this instead. So I think you're right. I think they could.
But have they actually
Yeah.
done that with anything yet till now?
Well, we
I mean,
don't
this,
know.
This is
I
the
mean-
first time they faced something like this. DC had their own problems, and look how they faced that. They just kind of redid everything. They're like, we're rebooting it again.
Yeah.
A different Batman this time.
I don't think
That
they
was
can
solid.
now- okay,
I don't think they can
Think
reboot
about what's
what
close
they've
on the
done.
horizon, though. Like,
I mean, I thought
what's
they were
next?
They were building towards Secret Wars,
They were.
and that was going to be the big, Secret Wars
I
versus
don't know
Kang.
what's
here's
next.
here's the thing
Exactly.
with Secret Wars though. The main big bad in Secret Wars is Beyonder, and Beyonder is
And Doom, right?
yeah, Beyonder and Doom, because Doom actually is, and it's bringing us back to Doom. Is
Yeah.
that
Yeah, Doom. Thank you for that.
Doom actually tries to be a better Beyonder than Beyonder himself, and technically he does. He does do that.
Are you talking about Hickman's Secret Wars? or are we
No, I'm
talking
talking
about
about
original
I'm
Secret
talking
Wars?
about the original.
Okay.
Because the original one is the one where Doom actually was rendered to be as the supervillain he always was. When Lee did it for Fantastic Four, Lee made Doctor Doom this almost novelty villain in the sense that his creative brief for Doctor Doom was to be that guy who stands on the corner talking about the end of the world and how he's going to do things and how that's not illegal, okay? And how that's just, window dressing, that's just a crazy man, Well, what if he actually said that and could do it? That's Doctor Doom, okay? So, and then Doctor Doom does things that with weird efficiency and overall serial killer mentality that's so practical and pragmatic. It's like what if Hannibal Lecter was existed in the Marvel universe? Like what would that look like? That's Doctor Doom. Okay, so when you got like a character like the Beyonder, who is this cosmic Florida man. With this great hair, and then who's just kind of like a cue type character with a lot of muscle, who meets a Doctor Doom who's, like I said, Hannibal Lecter, with, you know, the powers of a sovereign nation behind him. That's where the story is. So to go from Kang to Doctor Doom, we do need a Beyonder. We need a lot more things to go on.
Yeah,
I think
you're gonna need a Fantastic Four or something else. I think to go with it. It's not gonna be with these Avengers.
And I think that like half of the things that we're kind of experiencing now, where you can see the story, the overall arc go one way or the other, is because you have these three big characters that need to come up. They still need to resolve the Kang issue because they put so much energy story wise into Kang. They have to do something with it. I think personally they solved that problem with Loki season 2. I just don't think Loki season 2 is enough.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I think they can like back it up with a couple of more. Oh, that's just that variant from, you know, the other timeline thing, and they can do a couple more things like that. Just some throwaway scenes.
I feel like they do need to validate it better than just, oh, remember when we forgot to give him that book in that one show?
Yeah.
They got to do something better than that. I'd be happy for them to jump to Doctor Doom.
Well,
I do think you need some kind of Fantastic Four. I would love to see some X-Men get in there, just
kind of
to pull that out. But
I'm kind of torn because the Beyonder is basically, like you said, a Q character. And if there's one thing I hate as much or more than time travel, it's an overpowered character.
Right.
So I'm kind of torn on that one because I don't want anyone like that, like the Beyonder or a super powerful, unbeatable
Yeah. See,
character. So
I think that a character can only be in a story like that if it's very well written. Grant Morrison did Mr. Mxyzptlk. No prize to me for being able to pronounce that. Anyway,
or did you?
yeah, I'm not going to be able to call you out.
sure. And of course, I did a no prize for a DC character. So how dumb is that? But anyway, the Beyonder being that kind of crazy character who's a supervillain and does all this like wild crazy stuff. You need somebody to be able to write that well. When Grant Morrison did the Mxyzptlk story for Doom 52 Superman for the first 18 issues, he did that as Mxyzptlk having an identity crisis and that kind of thing. And so that was interesting because what does an identity crisis look like for a character like Mxyzptlk? We could also talk about Q's thing with the second season of Picard.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think
like
anybody.
that either.
Yeah. See. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'm open to whatever, but I hope they don't go that way. I would rather they go with Doom, because Doom, to me, even though he's super powerful and all of that, he's also beatable. Well, like you can potentially see him losing. It's just like with in the whole Endgame scenario.
Well, he's
was he overly powered? Absolutely. But was he beatable? Yes. I mean,
So have they made a reference to Latveria or Latveria?
No.
I could have sworn they did in one movie or something, but I might be making this up.
I feel like they have not said the words.
It alluded to like some region that something happened that
Yes.
they didn't understand.
Yeah, I believe they did it in a Black Panther movie. Maybe.
So just to backtrack a little bit, I'm going to go over some 2024 releases for next year, and it's very slim pickings.
They
And
slowed
this-
it down. They slowed
Yes.
everything down.
This includes the Sony Spider-Verse as well. So Madam Web in February 2024.
Crap.
Is that a Marvel project?
Yeah.
It's a Sony.
It's a
Oh,
Sony.
It's a Spider Universe. thing.
Deadpool 3, still July 26th.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Craven the Hunter.
Wait,
in August.
Deadpool 3 is what?
July.
July 2023 or 2024?
2024?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Craven the Hunter in August. And then Venom 3 in November.
So
That's
3
it.
crap projects and Deadpool.
Oh, and Spider-Man Beyond the Universe comes out sometime.
It does?
this year.
Oh. Okay, well
That's
that'll
like
be
our
two.
saving
That-
grace
yeah.
next year.
It
Yeah.
will. It will be.
Deadpool.
That's going to be an oasis in the desert.
There's
Yeah.
also the TV shows, so we do have to look forward to Echo in January.
That's coming out, yeah, January 9th, I think.
Oh, sorry.
I'm
That's
going to
how I
stick
feel about it.
strictly to MCU. Agatha coming to Chaos.
I am looking forward to that one.
And Eyes of Wakanda. There's also some other little things here and there like X-Men 97, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and Marvel Zombies.
Okay, so if you've seen, well, we're not on topic anymore, are we?
Do you want to move to the next topic?
Well, it was actually it may be in the thing.
Oh, no,
here.
that
No,
was-
keep going,
but yeah.
because I think
Well, I think they fast tracked Young Avengers. I think we can kind of see that from potentially the end of. Has everyone seen the Marvels?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
yes.
Okay, so from the end of Marvels, I feel like spoiler alert. Where's the button?
Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop,
Where's the
boop.
button?
Spoiler alert button.
Oh, oops.
I feel like they fast tracked Young Avengers as seen because Ms. Marvel is now going around doing the Nick Fury role of
Mhm.
gathering all these people together. So I bring that up because he being Wanda's son,
Wiccan?
Wiccan, is going to be in the show with Agatha.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And so I'm wondering if they're going to connect because Wanda and Doom in the past have been very connected. Partially because they both are from like Eastern Europe, at least in some of their origin stories. Like
Yeah.
she was a Romani character, and he is in Latveria, which is the same general vicinity. And I can't remember what run that was, but there was that run where the two of them were like, I think married or in some alternate situation. Do y'all remember that?
I vaguely remember this.
Okay, so yeah, there was a storyline where the two of them were together, and I think it happened after No More Mutants.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
Yeah.
after she did that, the two of them. Anyway, long story short, I'm wondering if they're backdooring some of this stuff with some of this new Young Avengers and not Wanda, but Agatha,
Right.
to get to Doom, which then gets us to Fantastic Four, and then X-Men. I don't know. I haven't figured that one out yet.
They haven't either. So
But they
it's
did.
okay.
But they were at the end of the Marvels as well. Maybe not the
Yeah, well-
maybe not the ones we want to see, but they were there.
I think having Beast there is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not a Beast is not a B-list
No.
character. He's
No.
he's one of the original five.
Yeah.
So
But the problem is, it's very obviously Fox Universe, and it's being a little meta at this point, but still, like, they're just trying to throw people a bone because they have the Fox properties and they can't really do anything right now. So it's like they kind of threw people a bone with the Illuminati having Charles Xavier, but it was very obviously Fox Universe Charles Xavier. It was Patrick Stewart, and now they've kind of thrown the bone with Beast, but it's Kelsey Grammer, which is very, it's very obviously Fox Universe Beast.
Well, we
And
also
so
have Deadpool's
they're
gonna
not
have
gonna.
Wolverine. Deadpool's gonna have Wolverine.
Yeah, Deadpool's gonna have Wolverine. Fox Universe. Deadpool's gonna have everybody.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a
literally Ryan
nostalgia.
Reynolds.
See-
Ryan Reynolds, his pitch for Deadpool 3 was like, "Hey guys, okay, we've got Fox now. I want every bad superhero movie that we've done within the last 30 years. I want all of those characters in this movie, and we're gonna kill everybody off
Yeah.
in terrible ways."
so when
In
Like,
the
that's
first
all-
5
I mean,
minutes.
and it's totally fine. I'm gonna love it.
Yeah.
I will be okay with Deadpool 3 because they kind of did that in Deadpool 2.
They
like,
did.
I was like, okay, here we're gonna do some X-Force, and then they everybody died except for Cable, and I'm like, okay, all right.
Brad Pitt's
I'll-
gonna be in the movie.
So it's
Vanisher.
fine.
Yeah.
But
I was a little
my
bummed,
point
but-
my point is that anytime they have they're not going to just rehash the Fox movie. They're not going to try and merge the Fox movies into the MCU. So anybody we see right now is just throwing a bone. They're not setting anything up for anything.
Well, it's definitely fan service.
When Derek said that, I think they sped it up. My first thought immediately was Deadpool being the only real Marvel movie coming out next year.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they're going to do it. Ryan Reynolds basically said, we're going to do this movie. He pitched a story, and I think that's how they're going to introduce it. I think it's going to be Deadpool 3.
Doing some sort of...
We will figure out some sort of, like, I will buy you, like, alcohol, or I will take you to dinner, or if you're right,
You're gonna wine and dine us?
I have to be like, okay, Doug. I have to like okay, Doug, you were right.
It wasn't my idea. It was actually
just,
Derek saying, hey,
yeah.
I think they actually sped it up because of the whole Jonathan Majors thing. They
Yeah.
had to fill it in with something. So let's instead of this one villain, to bring it back to King and Doom, instead of this one actor who fucked our franchise by being a clown. Instead of focusing on a villain, the only thing that's going to fix this is by blowing it up with a bunch of heroes everybody wants instead. And everyone saw how the internet went absolutely bananas over the yellow and blue uniform for Hugh Jackman, who everybody had been wanting to see that since the very fucking beginning. But Hollywood kept telling us, no, you can't do yellow and blue. It's got to be black leather. And then Ryan Reynolds blew that shit out of the water by doing exactly Rob Liefeld's shtick in front of a camera.
Yeah.
Which Rob Liefeld defies all physics anyway.
It's kind of his whole motto.
And so and Ryan Reynolds goes balls deep on everything Deadpool. Okay, and I think like I said, it was Derek's idea, and I think that's I just believe that, just like hearing us talk about it, that kind of thing. I think that's just how it's gonna go.
Well, we will see, in July we will have a show, and we will see. We will be like, okay.
I just don't think they're going to wait as long as you think they're going to wait to do something. I think they've been developing it. We just don't know.
I don't. Yeah.
It's not. They're not going to.
Well, I think Lou's
thing.
has been expecting it for a few years now.
Like,
So anything's late by this point.
I really need to sit down and do my research and go back and figure out when they announced X-Men in 2025, because I want to say it was like before 2020. Like I want to say it was like 2018 maybe. That they announced, like we got was the logo.
We've had a pandemic,
pandemic
we've had
happened.
strikes, we've had so much shit happen since then.
I know, exactly. So like we should be gearing up, like we should be seeing teasers, or we should be hearing like rumblings of castings or something, because we're literally sitting at the precipice of 2024, and originally it was going to come out in 2025, and now they're saying like 2028 or 2030 was the last that I heard.
Oh, really?
I mean, they haven't even, like, how much have you heard about the X-Men animated series? Like, Rashad said it was supposed to come out when next year? Like, after July, because it was after Deadpool 3, was what you said. Like, we really haven't even heard much on that in a while.
You're good.
So, because, I mean, they've just got,
Anybody want anything?
there's all sorts of other stuff that they're focusing on.
I think that as tight-lipped as they have been about, because sure, we've seen some production footage, some production photos, we've heard some story tidbits about Deadpool 3, but what have we really seen?
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I'm saying? I mean, we were allowed to see those things, okay? And it's always the same thing over and over and over again, but they make it sound new every time, okay? So whoever's in charge of that part of the Marvel machine, making all those old footage, those photos of Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds kibitzing out there in the middle of whatever, in their uniforms, or their costumes, I really feel like that is to show producers and other people who don't understand fans at all. People go apeshit for the classic stuff, okay? And I think that there are so many non-disclosure agreements out there that it really, I mean, what's her face who plays Scarlet Witch? She was talking about
Elizabeth
the NDA.
Olsen.
Yeah, Elizabeth Olsen. she was talking about the NDAs that she had to sign and
Right.
how many things that she wanted to even talk about. But in what's his name, Mark Ruffalo, who can't keep his mouth shut for anything, stopped doing interviews because he was like, "This is my job, you know. I can't not talk about my work, but I'm gonna slip up and say shit." And so, you know,
Tom Holland.
Yeah,
I was
Tom
about to say,
Holland.
Yeah,
what
Tom-
we need is somebody to interview Tom Holland about the X-Men. We would know everything.
That's
that
exactly
actually-
right. That's
that,
exactly
like,
right.
is actually
I think
happening.
I think they're developed. I think it's Area 51 in Hollywood when it comes to X-Men.
Yeah.
Okay. And I really do believe that.
Yeah.
And I think they still are on target because there's got to be more than just Ryan Reynolds out there believing in these fucking mutants. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
You have a good point, and I think I can't remember who has brought this up before. It might be Mark, maybe once. But try to remember back to before when this whole thing started. I know some of you may have been teenagers. Shut up. But when they announced the first MCU movie being Iron Man, I was like, what?
yes.
Are you kidding me? Why Iron Man? B-level character to me, always had been. Didn't care for him at all
Yeah.
until the movie. But then when the movie came, and they've done that with numerous Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
Didn't give a damn.
Yep.
But then I gave a damn.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
They have a way of being able to do that. Well, and so I think the different and Avengers. I always read Avengers when I was a kid, but according to Mark, he made it sound like in his mind, Avengers was always kind of like the Avengers. You know, Avengers was kind of.
I never read Avengers.
Well, see, and I didn't see it that way, but he did, and I was like, that made me stop and go, oh, okay, that's interesting. I never thought of it that way because I started reading when Beast was in there, when, you know,
I remember talking about that
Yeah.
a couple episodes ago. Yeah.
Well, yeah, okay, and so my point with saying all of that is I think they realized that originally they took properties and names that were just like, meh, you know, low, not priority, but low impact, let's just say. They could do something and it would be great because nobody would give a damn. Well, they know with X-Men that people give a damn. And I feel like, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that they realize they can't F it up. And if they can't F it up, they better go slow enough to get it right.
Figure
And
that
I'm
shit out.
hoping. I'm hoping.
Yep.
That's what I hope. Now, I don't know if that's... I may be putting hope out there that doesn't belong, but...
I mean, I think you're right. I mean, I just there's just no other way to say it. I think you're right.
and they can't F Fantastic Four up yet again.
I know.
You know,
But,
they've got to get it right.
So
We'll see.
you know, Lucas's reaction to his existential dread when it comes to X-Men, and I get a no prize for using 2 X's in that sentence. Okay. The bottom line is, you know, we see his dread, we see all of his, you know, anxiety about it. There goes number 3, and then, you know, Derek's over
Xanax,
here.
that's 4.
There we go.
Oh, no, that's 5.
That's
because there's
5.
2
That's
S's.
2
Yeah,
S's.
Let's keep it going until we get to town. I don't know how we get
Xylophone!
but
Xylophone!
so like.
I got an X-ray taken.
But then,
the other
like,
day.
Derek's basically like sums it up like right there. You know, Mark shared something with me earlier in the week where he said one of the things that it was a TikTok. Basically, the gist was one of the things that made Iron Man great was the fact that it may have been about a superhero, but it was actually about a guy trying to you know, work off some bad karma. Okay,
Well,
and
yeah.
and actually like heal the world in the process. You know?
It's like, what if rich people were good?
Exactly. You know, and then we
But
wouldn't
we
have
already know that they are.
They wouldn't have Saltburn.
Yeah.
we wouldn't have Saltburn. But Saltburn in the iron suit, that would be kind of funny. So, but anyway, because
Can
it,
we-
would
so-
actually be Tony dancing at the end. Whoops, sorry.
Tony Danza?
Yeah.
Hold me close.
I will say, can we move on to the next topic and leave the rest of this for
all right.
2024?
All right.
As much as I love
Next
talking about
topic.
X-Men, I'm probably the
We're almost
least
at an hour
interested.
now.
That's
Oh, good.
No,
No.
next one.
No.
Go to the next one.
No, what is it? What is it?
It's something else.
Read it.
It's Doug
No,
again.
it's Doug
man.
again. Okay,
Doctor
here's what we
Who.
can talk about.
Yay!
Doctor Who, the new Doctor Who specials 1, 2, 3, and 4.
We finally have a new Doctor after
And I
David,
love it.
after
Yeah.
David Tennant came back a third. How many times did he come back now? It's been a few
That was only the
times.
second time.
I've not
Well,
watched Doctor Who
no, well,
until
he's
now.
been in some like the Three
Okay,
Doctor
yeah.
special, and he's
Okay.
made several appearances
Yeah.
since he left as a Doctor. But
I'm a Doctor Who virgin. This is actually my first.
this is your first Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Well, I mean, I know who some of the others are. I just never watched.
So here's the interesting thing. I was never so. I started with the reboot. My dad is like an original OG Doctor Who fan.
same here.
And you know what's funny is now that Disney has Doctor Who, they've got the new Doctor Who logo.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually the original logo of Doctor Who. My dad has a pin he still has when he was a doctor in the Doctor Who fan club that he showed me. He took a picture of it. He's like, yeah, I've been a fan since the 60s. Here it is. But I started with, was it Eccleston? Is it Eccleston?
Eccleston.
Eccleston, yeah.
Yeah.
So I started with him because a lot of the old Doctor Who's you can't even go back and see.
No.
Like they've deteriorated. They were on like film. You can't see
Yeah.
them, unfortunately. But I will say, so David Tennant. I like David Tennant. My favorite Doctor was Matt Smith, but David Tennant seems to be a fan favorite of people, and Donna is a fan favorite of a lot of people. Which
I love her.
I didn't really care much for Donna when she was originally his.
I like Catherine Tate though. So
Oh, yeah.
So I like Catherine Tate as a person. I just did not like her as Donna. I don't know what it is about Donna, but she just annoyed the hell out of me. And it continued with the specials, but when they rebooted to the new Doctor, I'm glad they gave her an actual ending.
Yeah.
I'm glad they gave her some closure, but which unfortunately I will just
Yeah,
real fast. I will say I don't know if anybody else remembers, and maybe I'm misremembering, but the closure they gave to Donna to me felt a little bit like a cop out because I felt like they gave that same ending to Rose,
Kind of, in a
where
way.
it was like, oh, David Tennant, you can still go and have
Yeah,
fun with
you can
David
still
Tennant.
go and
Go
have-
off, and, yeah. They did the same thing with
It
Rose.
kind of was the same thing.
They were like, this is a human version of the Doctor that you can go off on
So-
another extension,
So
another universe. with.
so not having watched this before, are you saying this bi-generation thing is not new?
No, the bi-generation thing is new, but
That was new.
Yeah.
Oh,
but there was another. It was like
Spoiler.
I can't remember. Yeah, this is
So-
like spoiler for like old.
Yeah,
old
so
stuff,
so
but-
back when David Tennant was the Doctor, there was a point where he got his hand cut off,
Yeah.
and it was like in this jar, and like the bad guys got a hold of it, and they were like, "We've got part of the Doctor's power." Well, when he regenerated, it didn't regenerate that hand, and like something weird happened where that hand regenerated into another Doctor, and like Donna looked at it at one point, and she became the Doctor. The whole reason that she can't remember who the Doctor is because she's got his memories.
Yeah, well, it said that in the
And yeah, it talked about it. And basically what they said is if she ever remembers, her brain won't take it and she'll explode. Like, she'll die.
Yeah.
And she'll have so much time. But there was, like, a human version of the Doctor, which he's also half human. And I'm not getting into all of it. There was 2 David Tennant Doctors at one point. One that was human and one that was the Doctor. And when Rose was like, I don't know what to do, I don't want to go be on my own, they gave her the human Doctor, and they were like, you two go off on this universe by yourselves. Mm-hmm. And they lived, happily ever after.
It's best I don't know the backstory.
It's fine.
Explaining Doctor Who is, it's kind of like explaining Doom Patrol to somebody.
No, that's impossible.
You can't. There's,
I mean, the minute you say ass is flying around,
Yeah.
I mean, you're just like, okay, I'm
It's that same level.
Yeah, vampire zombie asses.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
right?
vampire zombie.
I don't know how many times I've told people about Doctor Who.
Where
They're like, what's it
asses?
about?
Where-
Yeah, that's it.
That's
Where
it.
Yeah,
asses?
where's zombie asses?
Yeah, where's
Yes.
zombie asses?
It's like if you don't
Just
watch
saying
it,
that
you
is
just
fun
don't.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I will
yeah,
say,
go ahead.
So he bi-generated,
Yeah.
and then
That was new though, where there were.
That was
so
new.
then he's a normal all-powered doctor, right?
Yeah.
But he's like living the life in the country with
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. Yeah.
what they really focused on in those first 3 specials was basically his I'm not gonna say they focused on it, but it was like a theme. His like PTSD from what he did,
Mhm.
and from like war and all that. And so basically that the veteran doctor gets to basically just go off and heal, or finish convalescing, I guess you would say, with someone else who also needs to convalesce because she had all that stuff happen to her. So I think that's interesting. my my only issue that I've seen on the internet is that some people have this like, and I really hate to kind of use it this way. It's like a separate but equal who. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not really, keen on that. So I don't know if the only way that this can work is if we never see
If he's just gone.
Yeah, if that was the last we ever see of Tennant as a Doctor ever.
I would be okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, and I think also that, but this the Christmas special.
I loved the Christmas
It was,
movie.
it was really good.
Yeah,
That was the first full episode. I'm gonna butcher this. Is it Nakuti Gatwa?
Shooty Gatwa.
Yeah,
Shooty Gatwa. I
Shooty
saw
Gatwa.
it phonetically.
Yeah.
Like,
the N is
Shooty
not
Gatwa.
pronounced.
And that C apparently
Yeah.
is a sh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I will say I liked the
Maybe
Christmas.
Nietzsche.
I know you've been trying to say something about it. Do you want to say something?
No, I was just gonna say, just in general, I enjoy that. So the last Doctor Who that I watched was probably like the first season of David Tennant. I mean, not Tennant, Matt Smith. Maybe I saw a little bit of Clara, so maybe it was like the second season of Matt Smith. But I haven't seen it in a long time. But of course, Donna. I love Donna and the Doctor. I love the Donna and Ten together.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: is like there's always this sexual tension with the Doctors and his companions. And like with Donna and Ten, you just didn't have to worry about it. And so they were just like two bros, like going off on space adventures and having fun. And then, I like how we, but then in that you get these really nice like moments between them because they are so close, because there's no sexual tension there. They're just two friends, right? They're just like the best of friends. So, exploring that whole PTSD between the two of them was just, it was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But it was funny that I was reminded in the first episode, like the first special, how Doctor Who can have some of the best writing and at the same time the worst writing in the same episode. Because you'll get this dialogue, or you'll get all this really good stuff. And then all of a sudden you'll get like the most stupid, like hand-wavy bullshit. And it's funny to me how it's written.
But isn't that like Doom Patrol in a way?
But it's like playing with a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna like write the solution of that plot twist, like just like a 7-year-old.
So
Yeah.
So I will say part of that is the fact. So they did bring. I think Moffat came back for the specials. And he was, it was Moffat,
it's Russell T. Davies.
Russell T. Davies, yeah, sorry, not
Yes.
Moffat. But it was like, there was a whole different showrunner that did Jodie Whittaker that a
Right.
lot of people didn't like. But the one thing about Doctor Who is everything is canon. There is nothing that they've, like, changed. Like,
Right,
anything
yeah,
that's happened,
yeah.
they will continue to say that's happened.
Yes.
Right? I guarantee you will not see them say the word gravity in this
Ever
season.
again.
Or ever again.
I
They will
love
call
that.
it Gravity until they go back and fix it with Newton.
I love that.
Oh, I thought it was hilarious. But like
Yeah.
the whole like the Doctor being a hybrid, like
totally
they even
love
made the
that.
joke about like, oh well, I was adopted too. That all went back to like the Time Child,
Right.
and they were like, that's nobody really liked that story, or at least nobody
Yeah.
that I know liked that story. But they'll continue that until they can
Yeah.
find some better way to explain
Well,
that.
and I'm not saying I'm just kind of rolling with it. I'm not. It's not something I'm upset about, but it's just funny to me
it's very
because it's
English,
like
too.
you get all of this.
That's true.
You get all this gravity in that first special.
Mavity.
And spoilers, by the way.
Mavity with that
Mavity,
situation.
yes, the
Mavity.
Mavity with the situation. But it's like, oh no,
want a t-shirt.
Donna's gonna remember and she's gonna die. Like she just can't remember. She can't do it. And then it's like, okay, how are we gonna resolve that? And then it's like, oh, she had a child. It kind of split off. Okay, that was kind of a clever way to, oh no, how are we going to handle this situation? Even between the two of them, we're still going to have this issue.
We'll just let it go.
We'll just let it go. And I'm like, how? Like, really?
but that's
Come
like,
on.
that's the most English shit, man.
But
Like, they should be like,
I mean,
Just don't ever
it
tell
was
her.
just like,
I get it.
It was like,
I mean,
you should have just been given a crumpet with that scene,
exactly.
Like,
I look at it like this. I don't have a lot of expectations of a cohesive story.
I don't either. It's
Just roll with the
I'm just
funny,
thinking.
you know?
I am. I'm just rolling with it. But I'm just making the observation that it's funny that I forgot that it's like that, and then
Oh.
coming back to it, it was just like, oh yeah, that's right. This is how it goes.
I think that's why
because
I
that
couldn't
second
get into it the
episode
first
was
time
so
I
well
started
written.
watching.
Yeah.
The second
Yeah.
one.
The second special where it's just her and the doctor on the ship, you get like the Mavity. You get the like the that's like the whole summation of their relationship. Is how was that second episode.
Was that the one
it
with
was
the like
so well written.
monster thing?
Yeah.
That was
that one was amazing. And that's what I mean by sometimes like it is really, really well written and like really, really good.
So-
and then sometimes you have these moments and it's like, okay, fine, let's get back to the good stuff.
I
Yeah.
just want to say two things. One of them is just a guess of what
Just
I think.
to
Yes. Neil Patrick Harris was amazing as the toy maker.
He was.
I enjoyed him.
And
yes.
I loved the musical number
Yes,
in
he
episode
was.
3. And that's okay. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, that's okay then.
So the second one, and I want to know y'all's opinion. So y'all saw the Christmas special, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. So who do you think
the mother
is
is.
Rose's mother? Or father? Because I have a theory.
I
And
was-
Magali said it first, and I was
I
like,
was totally going to ask that question, so I don't have a clue.
Yeah.
For a second there, I thought it was that woman.
Oh, the next door neighbor.
Yeah. No. The other one, the one that died and then she didn't die because the tree fell on her.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
But
Oh.
because I was like, why is she even in this? So I don't know. I don't know who it is.
So Magali had a theory
I can't wait to hear this because
that I was like, that'd be stupid. And then then I thought about it, I was like, actually, that would be good. So they did that on a Christmas special. They introduced her. She was born on Christmas Eve and dropped off at a church. Magali thinks that it's Santa's daughter. Which, hold on. They have talked about Santa in Christmas specials before. She has this, like, weird, like, connection to Christmas now.
Goblins.
They had these goblins that I thought were elves originally. I was like, why are these elves coming after her?
I'm already there, dude.
And I was like, that doesn't make sense. And then whenever I thought about it, I was like, that could be what people thought elves were. Although the elves singing how they're going to eat a baby, I thought was hilarious. I was dying laughing at that. But, sorry, spoiler alert.
That's not dark at all.
Oh, I thought it was funny.
No, it is. It is.
It was.
But yeah, no, I think in either the next Christmas special or like the next Christmas special they have, I don't know if they're doing like the next season is going to be over the Christmas, but I don't know. They might do a Christmas special. I think they're going to announce that or go back to that the next Christmas special and reveal all that. And that's why I'm thinking her father's. I don't know about the mother. The mother could be a couple people, but it could be the neighbor.
So wait, you're saying that the mother is Santa's daughter, or you're saying that the father?
No, Rose is Santa's daughter.
is Santa's daughter.
Yeah.
Okay.
You mean Ruby?
Ruby. Sorry.
Not Rose.
I know, I was saying
I was like,
Rose.
hold it.
I was thinking, sorry, yeah, I was getting her mixed
I
up with
mean,
the other. Yeah.
her
Ruby.
Her name is Ruby.
Sunday. Ruby Sunday.
Ruby Sunday, yes.
Ruby Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I kind of like that. I mean, if that doesn't happen, I think I'm going to be upset.
Why didn't he go and?
Well, that's going to be the whole next season. So she wants to know who her parents are. She's
Yeah.
going to continue, and I bet it's going to be one of these things where
It would
the
just
next
be
season's
easy
going to be
for
her
them
kind
to
of bugging the doctor, like, can we go back to this? Can we go back to that church when I was born? Can we go
Yeah.
see this person?
So-
and he's going to, for whatever reason, try to avoid it until probably the next Christmas special, and then they're going to revisit it.
I kind of liked that he didn't go after that lady and be all like, hey, you left your kid, what's up with that? Or accost her in some other super weird British way. I think that the fact that this woman just left her child at a church was enough for him. And he was like, you know what? She's going through some shit. We're just going
Right.
to let that be. She had the wherewithal to leave the kid at a safe place because that is a thing. People do need to, you know, that is a thing.
It's definitely going to be a major thing.
And maybe he thought, you know what? Who knows what she'll turn out if I do something? Whereas I just saved,
You just brought her back, basically.
brought her back so that the old woman wouldn't turn out to be an ass.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, and then like the contrast between the way her mom was with and without Ruby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was stark.
Yeah.
That was a real. That was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And to see that in something as lighthearted as a Doctor Who show was really nice because they went the full spectrum of emotions there.
And he cries really good.
Yeah. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
and it wasn't like.
So
He also parties really good. He was
Yeah.
having a great time
Man,
at that
I want-
club.
Have
I
you
want
seen
that
Sex
kill.
Education?
I have not.
Okay, you should watch that.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
a fantastic show.
Okay.
He's in it.
Okay.
Oh, Shooty?
Uh-huh.
All right, how many topics do we have to get through?
Oh,
I know.
All right. All you have to say is shut up.
No, I was
Shut
just
up,
like,
next topic.
I was like, we've talked a long.
Did you get another one? Is that the same one you picked from Doug?
What was that one?
The Last of Us.
Okay.
Reacher.
Oh, the only thing I'm going to say about Reacher is,
I haven't
How
watched
many did you put in?
I mean, I just like while everyone was talking.
Apparently,
I
a
was just-
majority of
Well,
them.
I'm glad you put that one in. I want to talk about that.
I feel like everybody had something to say about it in the group. The main thing I want to say about Reacher is we need our boy to be Batman. Okay. We need that.
He would be a good Batman.
We need that to happen.
Can he do the Batman voice?
Does it matter?
So, has everyone seen Reacher then?
No, I'm probably not going. Or you can. I don't care if you spoil it for
So
me.
it was just Mark and I?
Well,
Yeah,
pretty much.
unfortunately.
Well, let me just put it this
Well,
way.
duh.
Rashad and I... Oh, you have?
Oh,
He
you just
said
like
no,
the.
yeah.
Sorry, I thought you said.
You're good.
Definitely watch it. It is a fantastic, I think,
You know,
a fantastic show.
I think the reason I didn't
Rashad,
watch
do you
it
have anything
is
to
for the
say
longest
about
time
it?
I kept thinking that it was Jack Ryan and not because it's Jack Reacher, right? And I was like,
Just Reacher.
he doesn't have a first name.
I'm sure he does, but
He does.
But if you try and call him anything else, he just goes, it's Reacher.
Yeah, no, I think somebody was like, you should watch the show Reacher, and then
Is-
I think I ended up watching Jack Ryan instead, thinking that's what they were talking about.
A totally different show. Yeah,
Which is also, I mean, I like Jack Ryan.
Yeah.
It was good.
yeah.
Kaczynski is going to leave you.
Do you have
want-
anything to
desiring
add to
more.
Reacher?
No, I can say that when we originally decided to watch it, I was like, oh, here goes another show about some guy who's, military, he's going to be shooting people, and I don't really give a fuck, but there's actually some heart there, and there's actually some good writing there as well, so I recommend it. It's a good show.
Yeah, he's totally, I think, on the spectrum. And when you watch it, it won't take you long to figure that out.
I mean, it's just from like clips and stuff. He definitely is one of those like he doesn't look like he understands human emotions a lot of times.
Not really.
Just a very much
But
like
he has them.
I know, I'm sure he
But-
does, but he's very much like I'm gonna walk in and I'm gonna beat the shit out of that person without a single emotion and then walk away.
Yeah. So there's a scene, and I think it's in the trailer, so it's not going to give anything away. Where in the very first episode of season 2, he walks up and he's first off he's a migrant. He does not stay anywhere long. So he has the clothes on his back, the bag that he's got with it. That's it. That's all he's got. When he needs more clothes, he simply gets rid of those clothes and gets other clothes. Anyway, so he's in this town and he's standing behind this woman at a ATM, and he is very observant. So he may not have the normal emotions, or whatever, but he's very observant. So he's standing there and he's looking, and she's taking her time, and he goes, and he looks. There's a car down there. He looks back at her, and he goes, "You've been carjacked, right?" And she's, doesn't respond, and he goes, "Stay here. I'll be right back." And so
Yeah.
he just turns and he walks down to this car with a guy sitting, because her kid is in the back. That's what she says. She goes, "My kid is in the back." And so he walks up. This guy goes to talk on the phone or something, and then he goes, boom, and he just knocks the window out, pulls the guy, and just beats the living shit out of him.
Yeah.
And then takes the gun, throws the bullets away, and then leaves the woman standing there as he walks away, and he goes, "I don't like complications." And then he just keeps walking.
Okay, so real
I mean,
quick.
I'm telling you.
That-
Yeah, so is it the same Jack Reacher that Tom Cruise plays in the movie Jack
I
Reacher?
believe
Yeah,
so.
but we don't talk about
But
that.
we don't talk about him.
We don't talk about that one.
He's the Bruno
We
of
don't
the
talk
story.
about
Got
him.
it.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that
We don't
guy.
talk about Tom Cruise. Yeah.
Sorry, I
But,
think that's what confused me is I knew of that movie.
Yeah.
Somehow.
And so season 1 is totally different from season 2, because season 1, I think they based it on like the first book, maybe, I don't know, but it's all set in this one town in the South, and these characters that exist in that season do not cross over into this second season. He's moved on to a different town, a whole different thing. Except for one character has showed up from the first season.
Well, 2. Old girl. His partner.
Oh yeah, 2. Sorry.
Spoiler alert. No, I'm just kidding.
No, sorry, I forgot about her. But yeah, but 2. Although she is a regular character in this season, he is not. He was like in one episode. Now he's gone. But
Jack Reacher?
so
The other character.
the other
Sorry,
character,
I
yeah.
was like, he better be in his own fucking show. This isn't.
Yeah, no.
What was it?
But,
Mandalorian season 3.2.
no,
or whatever?
no.
Talking about Boba
But
Fett.
Yeah,
it
Boba
is a
Fett.
good show.
Mandalorian
It is a good
2.5.
show. I highly
So
recommend it.
you guys talk about him being on the spectrum explains.
Well, hold on. Let Lucas talk about the thing he said.
Okay.
He thought about.
What?
You had said right before we started that you thought of something.
Oh, I just had a couple of different things, So, no, can we talk a minute? Because I know you watched it. But can we talk about this Squid game show that
Yes,
they did?
we totally
Because
can.
somebody completely missed the point of that show.
Oh yeah,
Like they watched that show and they thought,
that would be
you know
a great.
what? That would be
show.
a great game show. And it's like,
Oh,
no!
That's the angle we're going.
That's
Okay.
the whole point. It's like the whole
Okay.
point of Squid Game was like rich people fucking around with poor people. And then it's like,
Hold
and then
on. Wait a minute. Say that again.
I said the whole thing is rich people fucking around with poor people.
Rich people fucking around with poor people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saltburn.
There we go.
Sounds like Saltburn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Carry on as you were.
So, no, well, the whole thing, yeah. Squid
Saltburn.
Game was
Well, so who actually watched the
Squid Game was
show?
written well.
I did not.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like they're like betting on them. Like that's the whole premise. They're not doing
Yes.
it just to give somebody, half a million,
Yeah.
half $1 billion.
It's something like that.
Yeah,
I
400
can't
something
remember how much
million.
money it is.
Yeah,
it's
I
a
guess it's-
ridiculous amount
Yeah,
of
but
money.
you're gonna die.
You know.
I mean,
Yeah,
But that's the whole thing. Is like you're gambling your life away.
and
Yeah.
what's
But
sad
then-
about with the regular TV show is we're the rich people watching them on
Exactly.
TV.
It's like
Yeah.
how dystopian is that we're watching this game show where people are like trying to win money to
Yeah.
get it, and it's like, no, that's not the point.
That's some first world shit right there.
I-
man.
It really is.
So
like,
did you watch the show?
No.
Did anybody watch it?
wait,
Watch-
are we
no,
talking about the game show?
The game show.
Or Squid Game?
The game show.
No, I have not watched the game show.
So I will say I did watch it because I was bored as hell one day. Magali watched it with me, and she actually got real into it. And she was like, "Oh, I want that person to win." I swear to God, there was one guy, and so like they do a lot like what they do on Squid Games, and there's a lot of times where they'll put people in situations where it was like, y'all got to either agree on something in the next 2 minutes or you're all dead. And it was like the cookie one. So they had like the four doors, and they were like, okay, they had 4 lines. They had the first person from each line go into a room. And they're like, you have 2 minutes. Everybody's got to decide on a door. And the first group that went in, they were like, well, nobody wants the umbrella, right? Because the umbrella sucks. So nobody agreed on it. After 2 minutes, they all died. Like they shot them, right? And they also do all the dramatic, like they have a thing on their vest that explodes. They have to act like they're dying.
They like have a squib
Yeah,
that like blows?
yes. They actually
Oh.
act like they're dying, and the acting is hilarious because none of them are actors. But then they bring in the next group, the same thing happens. They bring in a third group. One of the guys is literally throwing up because he was so nervous, and they were like, his whole line was like, he's gonna cave, he's gonna cave. And then they have another guy that's like this jock, like intimidating the shit out of everybody. And they go in there, and I don't know how they convinced this guy to get umbrella, and they're like, we'll help you, yeah, we'll help you out. And the first thing, like they all agree on it. The first thing they say over the intercom is like, you're not allowed to help anybody in this competition. That's the door you chose. And his whole line, and as they're bringing them in one at a time to do the challenge, like each door individually, as everybody from his line walks in, they're all calling his names, like really derogatory names. And I told him, the guys, like, that dude's gonna go home and kill himself after this because he has made no friends.
Yeah.
He just pissed off everybody. Everybody hates him. He's on national television, and the
Permanently.
whole
'Cause you can-
competition, he's like holding in vomit, like he's just. Like trying to do it because he's so nervous and like in so much distress. And the only thing that made me feel better is like after the last episode, they like showed them back in the world, and they made a point, I think a really good point, to show him, and he's like, yeah, I'm okay, it was bad. I was like, dude, I really thought you'd be dead by now. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand how you made it through that.
In memoriam.
Like, I hope they gave him counseling or something because he seemed like he had a lot of other problems.
Yeah.
I feel like remember when like Real World like on MTV became like a reality game show? I feel like
Real World versus Road Rules.
Yeah. I feel like some suit at Netflix was just like, you know what, this would be a great game show. We should get those guys who did that and like really like give them all the meth, and like let them just go to work. And I feel like that's what we got with this, And yeah, I mean, it's the whole premise behind that is completely tone deaf, and I think Netflix is just seeing what they can get away with, because I feel like that's half the reason why they cancel shows anyway. Everyone's getting quote unquote tired of something. And they just, they already know that the first 3 seasons everyone's going to watch them, so why make a 4th anyway? We'll just go from there.
I don't think there'll be a season 2. Well, they could, but
no, they're going to make a season 2.
It's going to be hard to do some of the surprises.
We got like big borrow and steal fans in order to get Sandman to season 2.
They found
but this shit is already like greenlit.
Yeah, so the only thing I'll say that they found really clever ways of like tricking people into stuff, and I don't know if they'll be able to do that a second time unless they find like 450 people that haven't watched the first season.
Right.
Otherwise, people are gonna be like, "Oh, they're doing this again. Mm-hmm. We're not doing that." It's like, okay.
Godzilla minus 1.
Oh, so good.
Well, carry on, gentlemen.
Can I just say something that I know
I have
is
nothing to say?
I just gotta say one thing that I know is gonna be an unpopular opinion. Do you think when it comes out, like for streaming or to buy, that they'll have a dub version of it?
Probably not.
No.
I don't know.
I may never watch this movie.
No, because dubbed is
It's terrible.
That's right. That's right. The whole reason you have subtitles for a foreign film is
To know what they're actually saying.
is so that you actually see the actor's performance themselves. There's no other actor on top of that,
Hold on. You're seeing that actor, but you're reading the bottom of the screen half the time.
Yeah, but it's the inflection in the voice. It's a combination of body movement and voice and inflection So I mean things like like Studio Ghibli films, they've done some really good dubs with like professional actors, and but still I will do subtitles all the way from foreign films like that.
So are we talking about subtitles versus dubbed?
Sorry, I didn't mean to make that the conversation.
He was asking, we're just kind of arguing why we don't think it would be dubbed, because I just think it would lose the impact.
I think the other reason, and this is probably more realistic, is that I know that for me in the 90s, you would see a lot of comedians do bits about people doing dubbed stuff and using really super shitty racist
tropes.
Yeah, tropes on stage and shit. And they would do it for Bruce Lee. They would do it especially for Godzilla. And they would fuck up that L, make that R, thing, and so yes, I don't think they're gonna do
I will
that.
say since I didn't see the movie, I will contribute to this conversation.
Yeah, that's the only reason I'm contributing.
I am not distracted by subtitles, even though it is, can be, if it's not timed right, it can be difficult to watch, potentially.
Yeah.
But it does not throw me off nearly as much as if the lips don't match what is being said. That throws me off way more. And maybe that's just a personal thing, and other people don't have that issue. But I watched this Spanish show called Elite, which has been on for several seasons, and it's dubbed. So you're hearing English, but they're obviously speaking Spanish, and it's hard for me to not see it.
Yeah.
See, my problem is I read slow, so I feel like I'm basically just reading the movie whenever they're doing subtitles. That's just me personally. I know people like the subtitle version
So
better.
are you saying you don't see anything else going on when you're?
I say I would probably see 80% of the movie is me reading it, and 20% is me watching what's happening.
So
And I miss stuff. I either miss stuff, or I get really I get anxious that I miss something in the subtitles.
Right.
So I'll read them, and then I'll sometimes try and read them again real fast, and it's I feel like if I'll miss a subtitle, I'll miss the premise. I'll miss something important, and I'm just like I'm constantly like, did it change?
No,
What am I reading?
No, I see where you're coming from now. My thing is, and this happened. This is half the reason why Mel Gibson started doing it. And okay. Are
Whoa.
You guys making me talk about Mel Gibson now.
What you
But,
like about Mel Gibson? Go for it.
So, because James Cameron is Mel Gibson's next door neighbor, and the whole reason why James Cameron came up with a whole other language for his Smurf movie or Smurf movies, Space Smurfs. Yeah, there we go. Those movies. He
Space.
Avatar.
with the
did I
Shakira
miss
merch logo, and then there's the whole reason why he did that was because him and Gibson would talk movie theory. Gibson was tired of hearing people talk about them putting Lethal Weapon on and like doing the laundry or doing their dishes or writing their thesis or whatever the hell people do, okay, while watching Lethal Weapon. He was like, if you're gonna put a fucking movie on, especially my movie, you're gonna fucking watch it. How else you get people to watch it? You make them read the fucking subtitles. I'm gonna make them watch a movie that everyone will go see. What movie can I do where everyone will read the fucking thing anyway?
An alien movie.
Jesus.
No.
I'm gonna make a Jesus movie. That's what Mel Gibson did. He did it as a cash grab so that you would watch his fucking movie, okay? Because he's a prick, okay? And then there's James Cameron who goes, you know what? I'm not gonna go the Jesus route. I'm gonna go ahead and steal something from a Pulp Fiction writer who was famous for doing Tarzan, but I'm gonna put fucking Smurfs in it, and it's gonna be in space. And I'm gonna do cheesy ass Shakira merch logo shit on there, and it'll be original because no one will know any different. So they're both assholes.
Technically,
But
this is on topic because this is in 2023 too,
that's
right?
actually the conversation.
What? Yeah.
Wait, what?
but
Oh,
are these men wrong? I don't think so, because yes, if you're reading it, you're watching the movie. Now, I don't know why that's happening with Travis and being concerned about missing stuff, but
I think it's more of a personal thing. I'm a slow reader, and I also think I'm missing things when I'm reading slowly.
I feel vindicated by you saying that, because there are times where I feel like I'm reading too much and I'm not seeing enough, but you don't have that problem with Godzilla -1.
I figured it's not a lot of heavy dialogue.
There's
There's a fucking
there is-
lizard destroying the town. You would expect there not being a lot of.
the movie
Well,
is,
but that's the thing.
A scream is a scream is a scream.
No, well, that's the
you
thing.
never see the same screen twice in this movie.
Doug has talked about this though. Is like the Japanese Godzilla movies, like, and especially this one, even more so than any others that I've seen, are like social commentary.
Yeah.
And this one is all. I mean, yes, you know, it's Godzilla is there, and that is the medium through which they are exploring, like Tokyo, or I mean Japan at the end of World War II, and coming how in the world are we going to come out of this? We pretty much just gotten our asses kicked. We're still fighting. At the beginning of the movie, they're still fighting the war, and they're like, why? You know, why? It's like, why fight something when you know what's going to happen?
Yeah.
You know, when you know that why fight to the death when you know what the result is going to be? You know.
Yeah, because
And then-
their whole thing is the atomic bomb created Godzilla, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole premise.
And so, you know, but then you've got, you know, what you're really exploring with this is like the whole issue of PTSD and like moving on, and how do you move on, and how does a country change when their whole premise for fighting this war lost them the war.
Yep.
You know? And so it really, you know, and that like, just that last line, like, you know, when, you know, somebody says, is your war finally over?
Yep.
I mean, whoo!
Yeah.
Like, just tears.
Yeah.
It's very cathartic
Yeah.
at that point.
I'm like,
but
Our
that's
war
the whole
is just
thing.
beginning.
No, well, I mean, yeah, but it's just.
I mean, how many more Godzilla movies can we make?
Yeah.
I mean,
I wasn't
well,
talking
well,
about
I
Godzilla,
know, but
but
I,
I mean,
I do think that like the way Lucas just said now with Godzilla being social commentary for the war in and of itself, there are so many ways that Godzilla evolved in the movie
Mhm.
as a consequence of the nuclear fallout.
Yeah.
That where Godzilla is also a survivor.
Mhm.
And that's never been done before. And that's one of the reasons why this movie is so important, because it makes you realize that Godzilla is like another character, almost like another person.
Mhm.
Anybody who's seen Shin Godzilla, when I say another person, that should mean something to you. No spoilers, but you should go watch that. I don't know if the same production company did Shin Godzilla and G-1, but
I thought it was.
I think so too. But I've seen some stuff that made me think that it wasn't for some reason. So even if it isn't, those Shin Godzilla follows G-1 very well, even though it was made beforehand. But G-1, treat yourself. Go watch that shit in the theater. It's,
can I ask a silly question?
Yeah.
What's the -1?
Okay, so you know how like, or maybe you don't know. The best example I have is D-Day, Normandy. June 6th, I think?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, all right. Yeah, D-Day is June 6th. So D-Day -1 would have
Be the
been
day before.
June 5th.
Oh, got it.
So G-1
Is the
You-
day before the bomb?
day before you actually meet Godzilla, and that's where the movie starts. And you actually get to see a Godzilla before he gets irradiated.
Enormified?
It's
Yeah.
an origin story for Godzilla.
So is it a lizard?
Komodo dragon.
I mean, he's
Okay.
essentially
I don't know.
he looks the same, just smaller.
Yeah. And
Okay.
what Godzilla is, I really don't want to spoil that, but there are definite shout outs in the movie that you see in Shin Godzilla as like what the nature of Godzilla is. I'll say it this way: Godzilla is literally another character, another person. And for those watching, when you leave, when you shut this program off, you're going to go watch Shin Godzilla, and you're gonna see that, and you're gonna be like, oh my god, these guys are great. They introduced me to Godzilla.
What did Shin Godzilla come out on? Is that on a platform right
It's
now?
on like
It is.
Amazon Prime, I think.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
Amazon Prime?
It's also on Apple Plus, and it's like
Yeah.
$3 to rent or $3 to own or some shit like that. But Prime also has it, and it's great. It's great. So
Well, it is now 8:30, so do we have any
We've been going for like an hour.
Do you want to go for Barbie? You got the shirt on and everything.
hour and a half?
No, we didn't start at
No.
7.
We didn't start at 7. We were downstairs at
We didn't
7.
wait.
We
until
started at
7:30
probably
to
like
start.
7:15, 7:20.
It was like 7:15.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, Jen says, I think she's referring to G-1. It means you can't get any lower than they were at the end of the World War II, and that is Godzilla.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll take that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jen.
That's a much better answer than mine.
I was thinking the same
All right.
thing. Just
So let's do
minus
that. Okay,
one.
let's do this. Do you want to talk about
Good Omens.
I have not. I would rather talk about Barbie.
Okay.
No, I would rather. No,
Then
Good Omens.
Barbie it
Okay,
is.
look, hold on. Let's just like one sentence. Let's kind of keep things. Let's speed round it or something like that.
Speed
so how about
round
this?
Good Omens?
One
Can-
sentence.
can
Have
I
you
do
seen
that? I
Good
don't know.
going on? So Good Omens.
We've all seen Barbie.
I enjoyed it. I have not seen Barbie yet, but I'm curious to hear what y'all think about
Okay.
Barbie because I've heard all sorts of opinions on Barbie.
Well, so I'll just say about the Good Omens. I like the
can finish
relationship between the two characters
Yes.
and their progression in season 2. Magali actually called it well before I did what was going to happen, and I have no.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was going to happen, and it did. So I was kind of surprised, and I think they're going in a good direction.
But-
I'm excited to see a season 3.
Yeah. I think it's worth the time.
So we didn't even finish season 1. So
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
sucks to be you guys.
yeah.
You know what's funny? Just real quick story. So we went to watch Good Omens season 2, and we watched the first episode of Good Omens season 2. What we thought was, and so
And it was season
and
1.
I was like, oh, and so literally, like I thought, like because when we watched season 1, we thought we had watched all of it, and I thought it had left it on a cliffhanger. No, like the next episode had come out, and we had just never watched it. So like. The first episode
were
of
confused the whole
season
time.
2, yeah, I
It
was
was just
like,
episode 2 of season 1.
it was no.
Oh.
It was the final episode of season 1, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, they picked up here, And so like when that episode finished, it just like didn't go on to the next episode, and I was like, what happened? And it like that's when I figured out we had not finished season 1.
Well, that sucks.
That was pretty funny, but anyway, so
Well, so since you haven't seen Barbie, the 3 of us have.
that's fine. And spoiler away, I know all about Barbie.
It's not a
I
spoiler
want
kind of
to-
movie.
It's not really. No.
You wouldn't believe us even if we did tell you.
Yeah,
That
no,
movie-
I
that
mean,
movie
it's-
is
But,
really crazy.
So
I
it
want to
was.
see it.
I watched Barbie when it was my wife was having a girls' day. She had some friends over, and I was like, "Y'all gonna watch this stupid Barbie movie? I'm not gonna watch it." They started it. I sat down. I couldn't get up. I was like, "I want to watch what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I want to see what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen with Ken?" Because so the one claim to fame as a Deloitte person, the guy that plays the other Ken. The guy, he's in the Ten
Which
Rings
one?
movie. The Ten Rings movie guy.
Oh, Simu?
Yeah, Simu Liu. He used to work at Deloitte for 9 months. He was an accountant, and then he quit. Well, no, I think he was
Well,
fired.
of course he was an accountant.
He was fired?
He was fired. He was famously fired from Deloitte, and then became an actor, and is doing.
Who's
much
laughing
better
now? Oh, wait, Simu's laughing.
He actually came back. He actually came back and did like a talk for Deloitte. Just shout out, man. Thank you, Simu.
Well, I went in.
Because he's gonna watch this.
Yeah, of course, he is definitely going to watch this.
Our number one fan. Or sorry, our number 2 fan after Jen.
Yeah. I didn't have any expectations going in. I mean, it was no.
What expectations would you have?
Well, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. But I walked out of there and I was just like, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think it has been nominated for some awards. I don't know what category, but I don't know if it would be comedy or social commentary or
I don't know. The
parody,
one thing,
I don't know what it would be,
The one
but-
thing that's interesting to me about it is it came out shortly before Dragon Con, right?
Yeah.
And so it was huge. Like cosplay was huge for Barbie
Oh, yeah.
at Dragon Con.
You would hear "Hi
But,
Barbie."
like,
all
yes,
over
you
the
would
place.
hear anytime anybody was
Walking
walking
out of the
down,
theater, I
you'd
was
hear
going,
"Hi Barbie, hi Barbie, hi Barbie, hi Barbie."
And Dragon Con's already like Hugh Hefner's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Playboy Mansion anyways.
Well,
Oh,
there is
the
the
group
funny
that I go
batch,
with,
yeah,
like
so.
they did, all the girls did a different Barbie outfit, and some of the
Right.
guys did Ken outfits, and I was like, I can't put a costume in time for that.
So
Yeah.
the bottom line is there's a Barbie land
Right.
Yeah.
where there are numerous Barbies and numerous Kens.
Right.
And they're all based on as an example, there's what is it, Ugly Barbie? Crazy Barbie? Which one is she?
No, that's-
weird Barbie.
Weird Barbie.
Weird
That's
Barbie.
the Barbie that
Oh,
everyone
you
cuts
talking
their hair and it ends
Yeah.
up in like the
Yeah.
under
Every
the
little
bed.
girl, like the
Barbie
little girls
is
who take it
MVP
and like
of this movie.
Yeah. It's Kate
kill the
McKinnon, isn't it?
huh?
Yeah.
Isn't it Kate McKinnon?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Kate
Yeah.
McKinnon. But they're all based off like
Swear to God,
different.
she's so funny in this.
Uh-huh.
They're all based off different like Barbies that have been released. Like there's Pregnant Barbie,
Yeah, yeah.
which was very limited for a time, and then there's
Right.
like there's like this other Barbie. There's Workout Barbie.
You
There's
did that
this Barbie.
exactly like the movie
It,
too.
it is
very limited.
so. It's like a feminism oozes out of this.
Yeah.
Out of this
And
movie,
it's-
but
it's-
it's so good.
And it's literally a female dominant world. Like the guys
Yeah.
are accessories
And
to
so
Barbie.
what happens is she gets out. I can't remember all the details of how she gets out, but she goes to
Yeah.
the real world.
Right.
Ken follows her.
She has an existential crisis.
Yeah.
That makes her
Yeah,
that makes
yeah.
her feet go flat.
Something's
Oh,
happening
that's right. Her feet go flat, and so she goes to the real world.
because the girl that had her was stopped believing in her or whatever.
Yeah.
It was,
So Ken follows her into the real world, where Ken gets all of these crazy ideas.
well, he starts to realize that the real world is very male dominant.
Male dominant.
What is
Yeah.
this?
And so he goes back, and he then tells the other Kens, and then the Kens take over Barbie Land, and hilarity ensues. And
Right.
yeah, I mean, it is absurdly, and I use that word specifically, hilarious.
Like
The-
capital A, like as the word is supposed to be used. It's
Absolutely.
completely absurd.
I
But
think
there is a monologue that Ugly Betty, whatever her
America
name is,
Ferrera.
America
Ferrera.
Ferrera
Yeah.
does, that was spectacular. I don't know how many times it took her to get it.
well,
but,
they end
I mean,
up
it was
bringing
just-
her back to Barbie Land to help them take over Barbie Land. again. But
yeah,
the big,
she's not part of Barbie Land.
yeah, she's the
from real world.
girl.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, spoiler
Okay.
alert. But no, the big turning point is the whole whenever Barbie gets the headquarters, Hasbro headquarters, it goes to the top and
Oh my
she
God.
sees the panel and she's like, I would like to talk to who's in charge of Barbie, and it's like all guys. They're like, this is us.
And she's like, what?
That was the point I was like, oh, shit's about to hit the fan right now.
Yep.
Yeah, I hear they're doing a sequel, but I really am kind of sad in a way because
Yeah.
I don't see
I don't know
how
how
you
you're gonna
top
top it.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That's gonna be rough.
Yeah, it would be a weird one.
God, that movie was so dope. I loved it. At the very beginning when they started playing the Thus Spake Zarathustra, and I'm going, hey, wait a minute, that's Space Odyssey 2001. And Jennifer's like, yes, I know.
Oh, you talking about also Spark Zarathustra?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, ah. And then there's Margot Robbie, 50 feet tall,
Yeah,
and the
Oh,
little girls
Everybody's
like,
dream.
and the
Well,
soundtrack.
everybody's dream, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, not everybody.
Oh, don't give me that. You're wearing her shirt. You would love it too.
I was more of a Ken guy myself.
Okay, touche,
But,
touche.
The soundtrack to this was fantastic too.
It did have a great soundtrack.
And the musical numbers in it were hilarious.
Yeah.
is it?
Can I just say one
Yeah,
thing?
jump in.
I,
The water's warm.
I was into it at the very beginning when Lizzo sung her song and she was kind of ad-libbing shit that was going on during the time that she was talking about Barbie. I was like, okay, I'm in. I'm locked in. I'm watching this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so good. So
I wasn't even mad about the Snyder Cut joke either. I was like, I'll give you that one. I wasn't even mad about the Godfather thing because I'm actually that guy at work. So I was like, I feel like I should eat that. I should eat that. And God, that movie was just dope. I loved it.
yeah, and all of the different kids. I think that's part of what made it too. Like, he's just Ken. He's Ken is he's just Beach.
He's Knuff.
Yeah.
He's enough.
It's kind of.
Who's the random guy that they had that was like, it wasn't Ken, it was
Alan.
Alan. Yeah.
Alan.
The other one.
Alan was like, get me out of here.
Poor Alan.
Oh, God.
They picked the best actor for Alan too.
They did.
Yeah.
They
I
did.
feel like I need to go home and watch this now.
Yeah, you do.
You really should.
I hate to. I mean, I don't.
We
We
kinda
think we're
spoiled
playing
a
it
lot
up so
before.
much.
I don't think.
I don't think you can play.
we're-
It's really good.
We're,
I mean,
we're not even skimming the top, man.
Yeah.
Like
There's a
I
lot
mean,
of depth to it.
Kate McKinnon though it really truly is a standout to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all great,
Mm-hmm.
but something like when she'll just drop into the splits
Yeah.
and she'll be against the wall,
And she's just like talking, making that awkward eye contact, and
Oh
just
my
like
God.
doing the splits and talking about cellulite.
She'll be standing straight up with one leg up the wall.
Like I had a
she-
I had a sister. That's like the most
I swear to
legit
God.
Barbie ever.
Yeah.
Totally
That's the Barbie
hilarious.
every girl eventually ends up with.
There was a point where I was sitting there going, so I see all these
And
other
they
ones.
kept a
where's
straight
the-"
face to do it. It's kind of like, how did you do that? I don't know.
God.
But it was really good.
Yeah.
So I definitely suggest that. Definitely suggest
Next
that.
topic, please.
Oh,
Are we doing another topic? Or are we ending it?
that was it. That was all the topics. So
Are you
somebody-
sure? I thought Doug had like
All right,
4 or
I've
5
got
more. in
one
there.
I'm
more.
sure I got
I
some
have
more.
one
in there.
more. I have a
All
couple
right,
more
we'll give
things.
Lucas one. So he didn't
So,
put any topics.
I will
on
say, just for comics that I've been reading, so I've been reading Tenement by Jeff Lemire, and it's really good. It's very Lovecraftian, and this latest issue, you kind of got like why all the strange things have been happening and what the end game is, and so it's really good.
I feel like I've read parts of that. What issue is it out
So
on?
does it all take
It's
place
like
in a
on
tenement?
7, I think.
Okay, that's not what I'm thinking of then.
So it's in the Gideon Falls universe.
Oh,
Okay.
It's the Bone Orchard mythos universe.
that's his
Okay.
own personal.
His horror stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really good.
I gotta
So,
check that out. I feel like I read that, but there's no way. If it's only on issue 7, I haven't read it.
It's just it hasn't been out very long.
I
So
haven't explored anything.
I've been reading that, and I need to get caught up on X-Men stuff. But here's a funny
Do you
thing.
really, though?
Yeah, I actually do. But
They're about to reboot it.
They're doing a we could talk about that, but that's too long. Yeah.
We don't have all.
I'm
that.
trying to just like little snippets. They're coming out with a Thundercats comic book that's going to be based on the animated series from the 80s. They're going to explore more of that world and all that.
Is it
So,
IDW or?
I
Boom?
don't remember who's publishing it. I think it may be
Thundercats.
IDW. But I've heard the new Transformers is really good too. I've
Yeah,
been
a lot of
hearing
people are talking about
a
that.
lot of buzz on it, so I may wait for it to come out in like graphic novel and get it.
Yeah.
Okay, and then also last thing, I will just leave it because I feel like we have to talk about this. Just my experiences. So I finally finished my rewatch of Deep Space Nine, which I love Deep Space Nine. By the way, it's my favorite, and we could debate that at some point. Yeah. So I had never watched.
That sounded loaded. I'm
It did.
sorry.
I know it did.
Yeah.
That was
I liked
catty.
it too.
That was catty.
It was not my favorite.
I know it's not
That's
everybody's
that's
favorite.
that
But
has some
anyway,
spin on it.
I have never seen the original series, like the entire thing. I've seen all the like major episodes, and I know all the plot points.
When you say
and all this kinda
the
stuff.
original series,
The original.
I mean,
we're talking like the OG 60s,
like
Kirk.
Yes.
TOS.
Yes.
TOS.
So I started it from the beginning. So my initial impressions, I'm like,
He hated it.
I'm 16 episodes in now, I think.
16.
Yeah. So it is so slow. The pace is just absolutely glacial compared to anything
Yeah,
else.
things happen slower in the 60s.
You know, like I was watching
Time
an
was
episode, and I was like, "Oh, I need to pause." I'm like, "Oh, but I think it might be almost over," and I paused it. No, we weren't even 20 minutes in. I was like, "Wow, okay."
They've just been staring at screens the whole time.
But
How is this not it?
but the vibe is so different because, like, Captain Kirk just needs to go. He just needs to be sent to horny jail all the time. Like he sees a woman, and it's like, "Oh, yep, that one's mine." You know, I mean,
If there's
he's
a pulse.
like, yeah, exactly. And the thing is, it's funny too because he's like walking around so there was one episode. So like, for one, it seems like he has to either get his shirt ripped or take his shirt off almost every episode. Like it had to be in his contract. But then there's one episode where he's like getting a physical by Dr. McCoy, and so he has his shirt off because he's working out, right? And so like
the only way to
he
get a
gets
physical.
called to the bridge. Yeah, he just like ups and walks out of the without his shirt on. He's walking down the hall without his shirt on.
That's Kirk,
and everybody's just walking past him. It's
That's
hilarious.
Kirk. When
So-
you're captain, you can do shit like that.
I know, but so
now you.
it's funny.
Then you
because-
flash forward to us talking about how you were upset with old girl for being the main part of every
Yeah.
episode, and us going, "That's how Kirk was," and you're like,
No.
and now you're like going, "It kind of was."
Well, no, but see, the thing is, I don't know. I haven't gotten that far
It's
yet.
the Kirk show
It's the Kirk show.
So, yeah. But,
with some Spock in it.
there is some Spock. Yeah,
Little
you've
bit of-
still
little
got,
bit of Spock.
you've still got a little bit of ensemble. Yeah, that's the thing. It is a much smaller
Ponce is
ensemble.
over there drinking.
Like,
Yes.
I know, yeah.
We're
Early
just
on, it really is just like
Regretting life choices.
Kirk, Spock, and Bones. Like, that's it. Everybody else is
Yeah.
just kind of superfluous.
Yeah.
So, which does kind of, I will admit, like, that it is kind of like, that's how Discovery is, because it's like, Burnham and, like, everybody else is superfluous.
Yeah.
So,
It
which is
worked in the
probably
60s,
why,
it just doesn't work now.
So, anyway, but yeah, the original series, it's okay. Like, I'm watching it,
It's
and
not
I'll
the
probably
best.
make it all the way through, but, yeah, it's not my
What were you
favorite.
gonna say?
God, it's okay.
It's okay.
You don't
yeah.
say that shit about a classic. You're gonna get
That's
into
your
a
favorite?
you're gonna get into a '68 Chevy Camaro and be all like, this is okay.
Well, he.
Well, if he's getting
Yeah.
into it with Kirk, he probably will.
So, but it was, so the thing is it's funny
But the
because I
acting.
watched some,
Oh,
yeah, because I can't binge it. I can literally watch one episode and then I'm kind of bored.
I mean,
So, except for I did watch a two-parter because they rehash like it was hilarious. Like, what is the name of the episode where they like with the whole thing with Pike and
Oh, Farpoint.
Like,
no,
no,
not
no,
Farpoint.
no.
anyway, it's a two-part episode, and the whole
Menagerie.
reason, yeah,
Yeah,
the menagerie,
that's it.
that's it. So the whole reason that this episode was because they were behind on production, and they needed something they could churn out that like didn't take them a long time. So they literally kind of wrapped this, like wrapped the pilot,
the original
in
pilot,
this whole
yeah.
thing that Spock like kidnaps Pike to take him back to what is it, Talos 4 or something
Yep.
like that.
Yep.
And so, and then literally, because I'm watching it, and then all of a sudden they literally start playing the pilot, and it's like, wait, what? So I ended up fast forwarding through a lot of it because I'd already seen the pilot. So you know,
you fast forwarded through
I fast forwarded through the pilot parts
the menagerie.
and then watched like the new parts. Yes.
Oh my god, you gotta like. Okay, so first of all,
Because I didn't want to re-watch the pilot.
they actually cut new shit inside of it to make it flow better.
I know, yeah.
I mean, so I'm not sassing the way you did that. I was
Yeah.
gonna do like a whole thing, but I forget it. It was dumb. the thing is that like with Pike and the menagerie and the way all that was, with them like making that episode because they were short on production or
Yeah.
had time issues and all that. Marvel and DC did that with comics too. If somebody was like this close to missing a deadline, they'd be like, all right, let's run an issue from run an issue from 20 years ago. Just run it this time because Whistledick is not turning in his lettering on time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they would do that all the time. Especially like
I didn't realize. I remember doing
Yeah.
those. I just didn't realize that's why.
yeah, they would like run the crap issues too, man. It was between the like for example, in between Spider-Man, in between Tom McFarlane leaving and going to Image, and they didn't have Eric Larson up yet in the queue. They did like 2 throwaway issues from like reprints from like 20 years previous, and it was like just complete garbage. And they did that in a couple issues of Fantastic Four, but like what's his name? The guy who created Star Trek. What's his name? Oh my god.
Gene Roddenberry.
Gene Roddenberry was so pissed at the executives for shitting on Pike because Pike was like his first, whatever. The executives gave him notes about that pilot, and they were like, they were good notes because that crew did not,
Yeah, there was no chemistry.
No,
with that
there
group.
wasn't.
It,
There wasn't.
It's,
Yeah,
it's bad.
and it was bad. But like, he was pissed, and he was like, "I'm going to make this work. I'm going to make this work. This story needs to be in my Star Trek." And so that was like a part of the whole Gene Roddenberry, production deadline thing.
Yeah.
Because Gene Roddenberry was also a big, huge stickler for not having like real, genuine conflict between characters that were in the crew. They could only have conflict with other alien species,
Right.
which that rule was relaxed and taken away when they started doing Picard, and or maybe even Discovery. Really, to be honest with you.
Did Derek really put on some old classic Doctor Who and then walk out?
He totally
You
You
did.
mean
Rashad.
Rashad?
Rashad, sorry,
Yes,
the other
Rashad
one.
totally
Sorry,
did.
the other part of Rashad.
I was like, no, I didn't.
Yes. Anyway, I just wanted to say that
This is
that's my
Doctor Who?
journey at this moment.
Yes.
Is
Yes,
trying
it
to
is.
make it through the original series.
I love
And
that,
so
man.
I can only watch like one episode at a time. So I've been like rewatching The Next Generation.
I think it's the 6th.
And it was funny because like the second or third episode of Next Generation is the one where like they end up the molecule ends up mutating and it turns into alcohol, and so then
Yeah.
everybody's losing control of the ship, and they're like, oh, we found the reference to this and blah 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 blah. I just watched that episode not too long ago, and I was like, oh, that's a reference to that.
Have
so
you gotten
it
to
was
the
kinda
Gorn
funny.
episode?
No, I have not gotten to the Gorn
I
episode.
am so
yet.
glad you mentioned that. I made
Yeah.
Jennifer watch the fight scene from that,
Sorry, Jennifer.
and and the whole reason you watch the original series or those old scientists, and the whole reason why you do that is so that you can watch the other person watch it, because that is hilarious. I wish I had footage of the look on her face while all of that fight
While all
scene
that
was going.
on, yeah.
Well, so y'all were probably watching a different show than I was when I was watching it. I mean, more than likely. I mean, I'm
You
assuming.
talking about the original series?
Well, yeah, because the acting was really bad. But you've already alluded to the fact he's shirtless a lot. Those pants were super tight. I mean,
Yeah.
That's why the pants never came
yeah,
off.
so many mini skirts. Like there was an episode
not
like
so much the mini skirts I'm
well,
talking
no,
about.
but I was noticing because there was one episode.
Do you know me?
No, but I'm saying Doctor. There was one. It was like, oh, this is Doctor Hall. Blah 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 blah. And like he likes oh, you should go through this doorway. And like she's going through the doorway, like her leotard is hanging out. Like it didn't even cover completely. I'm like, yep, this is a totally different time.
Oh, it's
like,
totally different.
Yeah.
It's the 60s.
Oh yeah. I'm shocked. It wasn't like Mad Men. They come into the room and they're,
I know. Like
they're still
and all
smoking
that.
in
Yeah.
space.
Mad Men.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll end on that note. That's my journey. at
All
this
right. Any
point,
last
so,
minute things looking forward
I
to?
don't think-
Looking forward to.
Next year?
Yeah, looking forward to
what
next
if is
year.
It's the end of the year.
What if is good? If y'all haven't watched it yet, we're
I-
starting to work our way through
I
it.
haven't watched the second season of What If. I did start
You watched
the second season of
episode
Star
one.
Wars Visions.
Oh yeah, that
um,
was really good.
I've only seen a few episodes. They're good. I haven't seen one like the samurai one from season 1 that I really liked. That I'm
Yeah.
like, that made the season worth it.
Yeah.
But they have some decent episodes so far. But yeah, I don't have anything
Yeah.
specific for 2024 that I'm like, that's what I want to watch.
No.
I guess Deadpool maybe.
So a movie.
Yeah, the movie
yeah.
Deadpool. That's probably it for now.
We didn't talk about Rebel Moon. Nobody put that down. We
You
haven't-
mean Star Wars remake?
we haven't watched
I've
it.
heard of
so-
it.
I'm not gonna lie. Every time I see a clip of that, I'm like, it's just Star Wars. I even saw a clip today. The dude had literally 2 lightsabers. I was like, how is George Lucas not sued? Or I guess Disney now. How has Disney not sued these people for copyright of lightsabers?
Nobody likes that.
Excuse me. They're not lightsabers. They're bright swords.
Sorry.
Are you
Is
serious?
that literally what
That's
they
what they
call
call
them? Is
No,
bright
that
swords?
completely, yeah.
But
But the fact that both of you believe me.
I mean, it sounds like something somebody would say.
yeah,
Oh no, these are bright swords.
these are bright swords.
Gosh, maybe I should be a writer.
Are they gonna kiss? Oh, sorry.
No, this was before gay people were allowed to do stuff on TV. They were not gonna kiss.
Or anywhere. Okay, well,
All right, well, hey,
Happy New Year.
Happy New
Happy
Year.
New Year.
2024.
Bye, Jen. Bye, Jen.
bye, Jen.
Hey,
Peace out.
be home soon.